everybody, hello, welcome back to the channel where it is time for my Matchweek 30 predictions for the 2019-2020 Premier League season. Now, before I start this video, Manchester City against Arsenal has been postponed because of fears of the coronavirus, and apparently it is to do with the Olympiacos owner Mankriaz, I think his name is, or Manat, whatever his name is, coming into contact with Arsenal players and staff. So that's one thing you can say, is that that's been postponed as a precaution, but obviously that game will not be played tonight. So that game has been postponed, so that's going to have to be rescheduled again. So yeah, a little bit of an annoying thing to have happened. And actually, before I also start this video, smash that like button as well. You guys did absolutely amazing in the last video, so thank you very, very much for that as well. So let's have a quick look at how I did in match week 29. So, Liverpool Bournemouth, I went for a 3-0 win to Liverpool, it finished 2-1. Arsenal West Ham, I went for a 3-1 win to Arsenal, that finished 1-0 to Arsenal. Crystal Palace Watford went for a 1-0 win to Watford, that finished 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Sheffield United Norwich City, I went for a 2-0 win to Sheffield United, it was a 1-0 win to Sheffield United. Southampton Newcastle went for a 1-0 win to Southampton, it was a 1-0 win to Newcastle. Wolves Brighton, I went for a 2-1 win to Wolves, it finished 0-0. Burnley Spurs, I went for a 1-1 draw in this game, it was 1-1. Chelsea Everton, I went for a 2-1 win to Chelsea, it finished 4-0. Manchester United to beat Man City 2-1, I said, and it finished 2-0 to Manchester United. And Leicester City to beat Aston Villa by 3-1, it finished 4-0 to Leicester City. And obviously Manchester City against Arsenal has been postponed, so that will have to be replayed again at a later date. So the games we have to come, including the Merseyside derby on Monday Night Football, that will be a fantastic game as well. We've also got Jose Mourinho against his former club Manchester United as well to look forward to. So let's kick things off with the Saturday lunchtime game, and it is at Vicarage Road as Watford take on Leicester City. Nigel Pearson taking on his former club. Should be a very interesting watch, this one. And the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 2 wins to Watford and 3 wins to Leicester City. And in fact, the last result was a 2-1 win to Watford, but obviously Leicester City won earlier in the season. I think it was 2-0 earlier in the season. Now, it has to be said, Watford, it was a very, very unlucky defeat against Crystal Palace. Yes, they played very, very well. You know, Guaita kept Palace in it a game, but I mean, how many times I'm going to say this about Guaita keeping Palace in the game? It was a very, very good win for Palace in the end. But Watford, they are still outside the relegation zone on goal difference, but they'll obviously want to try and pull away now, I think, and that's one thing you would have to say about this Watford team. But still good players in that Watford team, and it's going to be a very interesting game against Leicester City, who are coming off the back of a 4-0 win over Midlands rivals Aston Villa. Very, very good performance from them. Harvey Barnes especially. Jamie Vardy, good to see him back on the score sheet as well. Really, really hard one to call, because obviously Leicester City getting that win last time out. Away from home, they're not the best, but it's really, really interesting to see how well Leicester City are going to do in this one. So, can Watford beat Leicester? That's a big question now. I think it's going to be a very, very hard game, but I just can't see. I can't separate these two. I think Watford will obviously in relegation trouble. Leicester trying to get top 4. I think it's only a matter of time before that happens as well. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Watford and Leicester. I do think it'll be a very, very close game, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between the sides. So Nigel Pearson to get a point off his former club. We'll see what happens with that one. Bournemouth against Crystal Palace. Now, the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 1 win to Bournemouth, 2 draws and 2 wins to Crystal Palace. The last result was a 2-1 win to Bournemouth. All you can say about Bournemouth's performance at Anfield is that they gave it a real go. I mean, they went 1-0 up through a goal from Callum Wilson. yes, you could argue that it was probably a foul on Gomez, but Gomez has to do better there. He has to. Out-muscled by Callum Wilson. And yeah, obviously VAR didn't intervene in that, but it has to be said that Bournemouth actually played very well at Anfield. And, I think as more of the game went on, I think Liverpool were growing into the game. But, Bournemouth are going to have games like that. But I think it's home form now that they have to get results, I think. So it's going to be a very, very hard game because they're coming up against a Crystal Palace side who won 1-0 against Watford, and it was a very, very good win in the end. Ayew again, how many goals is he going to get this season? On absolute fire is Jordan Ayew, so going to be a very interesting game. Really hard one to call, but I just think because of Palace's win against Watford, I think with Bournemouth being in the relegation zone, this is key now for Bournemouth. They definitely need to start winning games, but they'll be boosted by the return of Harry Wilson, who was obviously ineligible to face his parent club at the weekend. So I think he may get on the score sheet, but I'm going to go for a Palace win here. Palace do like to play Bournemouth, and especially at the Vitality, winning. Well, obviously they lost the last game, but I can see them winning this one. So I'm going to go for a repeat scoreline, but to the other team this time. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Crystal Palace in this game. So it should be a very, very interesting game, that one. Brighton against Arsenal. This is very interesting. 2 wins to Brighton, 2 draws and 1 win to Arsenal in the last 5 meetings. And in fact, the last result was a 1-1 draw. But in fact, Brighton won earlier this season at the Emirates. So that will be very interesting to see. Brighton obviously getting a 0-0 draw with Wolves. It was a very good result. Wolves still haven't beaten Brighton in the Premier League, which is unbelievable to even say that. Matty Ryan was very, very good in goal, I thought, for Brighton at the weekend. And they had their chances. I mean, Mopé went close, Moy went close as well. So it was a very, very good draw for Brighton in the end, and it was a very, very good draw. But they seem to have the upper hand on Arsenal in this game. For some reason, it'll be very, very interesting to see, because obviously Arsenal are coming off the back of a 1-0 win over West Ham, but how they won that game is probably because of Burnley, and obviously the fact that Lacazette can still score goals. Very, very good win for Arsenal in the end, and West Ham, pushed them all the way for sure, and it's going to be a very, very interesting game. So Brighton seem to have the upper hand in Arsenal, and I'm going to go for another draw in this one. I just think Arsenal at this moment, away form is not the best. Yes, obviously the Man City Arsenal game has been postponed, but you would have probably expected Arsenal to have probably lost that game. But for this game, I can't separate them again. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Brighton and Arsenal. I think it'll be a very, very close game. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in the game. Manchester City against Burnley now. The last 5 between the sides have resulted in 4 wins to Manchester City and 1 draw. The last result was a 5-0 win to Manchester City. But dear oh dear, Manchester City coming off the back of the derby defeat to Manchester United, and my goodness me, it was not a great performance from Manchester City at all. Ederson had a really horrible game. He gifted the first goal to Martial, and then the second goal he completely gives the ball to McTominay, who's 30 yards from goal, empty net, goes into the back of the net. Yes, they're missing De Bruyne, and I think that was key in the game. I don't understand why Phil Foden's been played out wide. I really do not understand that. He's more of a central player. So play him in his natural position. But yeah, obviously, I think De Bruyne will probably be back for the weekend against Burnley. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they're going to do, because Burnley, coming off the back of a 1-1 draw with Spurs, has to be said, they were very, very good in that game. Very unlucky not to get the win as well. Turf Moor's a really hard place to go to, and Burnley will be definitely spurred on by the fact that obviously Man City lost in the derby, and it's going to be a very interesting game. But just think of the home advantage, I'm going to go for Man City to bounce back from that defeat by Manchester United. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Manchester City. So it'll be very, very interesting indeed. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Manchester City. Newcastle United against Sheffield United. Now, this is the first meeting between these two since the 4th of November 2006 at St James's Park, and obviously Newcastle United won the reverse fixture 2-0 earlier this season as well. So, very, very interesting game. The last 5 between the sides, in fact, have resulted in 3 wins to Newcastle and 2 wins to Sheffield United. And the last result was a 1-0 win, way back, like I've said, 4th of November 2006 to Sheffield United. It has to be said, Newcastle United had a fantastic win over Southampton. It should have been a lot more. Because obviously they got their first penalty in, I think, 36 games or something. And Matt Ritchie missed it, so it wasn't very good for that reason. But a very good win for Newcastle, and Saint-Maximin again scoring as well, very good from him. And it is going to be a very interesting game, because obviously they're coming in back at the front of the home fans, but they're coming up against a very impressive Sheffield United side who again managed to win 1-0 against Norwich City. And my goodness, they need the Dean Henderson. Absolutely fantastic string of saves from him, and you know what, I don't think he's going to be too far away from an England call-up, especially for maybe the Euros. I think obviously if the Euros go ahead, that is, but I think Dean Henderson will be very unlucky not to be in the net, because he's been absolutely fantastic for Sheffield United. So, really hard one to call, but I'm going to go for the away team here. Newcastle United don't usually lose at home, but I'm going to go for the away team. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Sheffield United in the game. So it'll be very interesting as well. A really hard one to call here. Norwich City against Southampton. The last 5 between the sides have resulted in 2 wins to Norwich and 3 wins to Southampton. The last result was a 1-0 win to Norwich City. Norwich, obviously, coming off the back of a 1-0 defeat to Sheffield United. Their home games are going to be so crucial now. They've got some good games coming up. They've got some winnable games as well. Can they manage to get any wins? It'd be very interesting to see. But to be honest, to their credit, they played very well against Sheffield United. Very unlucky not to get a point in the end, but it was a good win for Sheffield United. And you know, obviously Norwich City, like I said, it'll be very interesting to see how it's going to be, how it is going to unfold in this game, because obviously they're back in front of their fans at Carrow Road, and obviously their last home game they won 1-0 against Leicester City, so that's another one to look out for sure. Southampton coming off the back of a 1-0 defeat to Newcastle United. Obviously they're going to be without Moussa Djenepo. It was a correct decision for the red card. I think it was a really bad tackle, and you can understand why he's gone off. But Alex McCarthy obviously saving a penalty from Matt Ritchie. It was a very good penalty save, and Southampton were unlucky in the end to go away empty-handed, but but they're safely in mid-table. So, you know, I think the more that, you know, I think this is a bigger game for Norwich City than it is for Southampton. So, because of that, I'm going to go for a very surprised result here. I think Norwich City will win the game. I think they're going to get another win over Southampton. They've got a good record against Southampton at Carrow Road, in fact. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Norwich City in this game. I just think Norwich City will win this game, and it'll be very interesting to see, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Norwich City. Aston Villa against Chelsea. Now, this is the Saturday night game we have, ladies and gents, and it is last 5 between the sides have resulted in 5 wins to Chelsea, and the last result was a 4-0 win to Chelsea. Aston Villa were so poor against Leicester City. Dear oh dear. Defensive frailties after another. Pepe Reina making a really bad error of judgment. Comes out for a ball. He's never going to win. Harvey Barnes gets to it, and you know, Barnes scores that one. And then obviously the credit is their own downfall, really. Tyrone Mings, yes, I mean, he leans into the ball, but it does come off his shoulder. So, you know, is probably handball in that, and as the new rules are. So very, very poor performance from Villa, and they're running out of games. They really, really are. Defensively, all over the place, and if you concede goals like they have been, then they're never going to survive in this league. And it really is unfortunate to see this, but they're just not playing very well, Villa. But they're coming off the back of they're coming in front of their fans against Chelsea. They're coming off the back of a very impressive 4-0 win over Everton. Billy Gilmore again, fantastic performance from the 19-year-old Scotsman. It's really, really good to see. People are saying he should be called up for Scotland, me included. Very, very good performance, and a very, very good win for Chelsea as well. Obviously, Mason Mount scores as well. Very, very good to see as well. Yeah, it was a good win for Chelsea in the end, and they'll definitely want to improve this, but they haven't done something that they need to do. They've not won back-to-back games since November, so that's something to look ahead to for sure. So it'd be good to see if Chelsea could do it. So I'm going to go for an away win here. I think Chelsea will be too strong for Villa. Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 2. Go for a 2-0 win to Chelsea. And now we move into Super Sunday, where it is West Ham against Wolves. The last 5 between the sides have resulted in 1 win to West Ham, 1 draw, and 3 wins to Wolves. The last result was a 1-0 win to Wolves. West Ham can be really unfortunate that they can go away from the Emirates empty-handed like that. Really, really unlucky. Played really, really well against Arsenal. And it was a very, very good goal from Lacazette that managed to win it. But West Ham can go away from that and thinking, yeah, get on this performance, build on from this, and we'll stay up comfortably. And it was a very, very good performance, but very unlucky to lose in the end. Wolves, they're coming off the back of a 0-0 draw with Brighton, and obviously they play Olympiacos tomorrow. That's going to be played behind closed doors. So it'd be very, very interesting to see how their mindset is ahead of this game. So really hard one to call. I just think because of West Ham good performance against Arsenal, I'm actually going to go for a 1-1 draw between the sides. West Ham 1, Wolves 1. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this one. Tottenham against Manchester United now, and the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 2 wins to Spurs and 3 wins to Manchester United. The last result was a 1-0 win to Manchester United, and Manchester United have beaten Spurs 2-1 earlier this season. What has happened to Tottenham? My goodness me. Lucky to get a draw against Burnley. A lot has been made of Tanguy Ndombele's performance against Burnley. No sprints. He did not sprint at all. He was good passing the ball, he was good getting the ball, but he didn't sprint. Now, I'm sorry, but that was just ridiculous from him. And no surprise he was substituted at half-time. No surprise at all. And then obviously Tottenham losing 3-0 to Leipzig last night. Really, really poor from Spurs as well. So, going to be a very, very interesting game, because obviously Jose Mourinho coming up against Manchester United again. But Manchester United are a different animal these days, different team at this moment in time. 10 unbeaten now it is for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and hats off to Manchester United. I thought they were absolutely fantastic against Manchester City. Yes, had to ride their luck a couple of times, but my goodness me, how Bruno Fernandes has changed that Manchester United team is brilliant. He's been absolutely fantastic. Very good assist for Anthony Martial, and then obviously Scott McTominay scores the second. But a brilliant win, really, really fantastic win for Manchester United, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they're going to do in this game. But because of Spurs' erratic form, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Manchester United. I think Manchester United are just going to continue their winning run. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 2. We'll see what happens for that one. And then finally, we have the Merseyside derby on Monday night. It is Everton against Liverpool. Liverpool are 2 wins away from Premiership glory. So we'll see what happens. So the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 3 draws and 2 wins to Liverpool. The last result was a 0-0 draw last season. Everton, 4-0 defeat to Chelsea. Very, very poor performance from them. And again, you know, away from home, Everton are a different animal, but at home they're very, very good. So, Merseyside derby, obviously they haven't won a derby since, let me think, 2010 I think it was. So they haven't won a Merseyside derby for a long, long time. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game, because Liverpool, they are coming off the back of a 2-1 win over Bournemouth. They play Atletico Madrid tonight, so it'll be very, very interesting to see how well they do in that one. But, you know, Liverpool, 2 wins away from Premiership glory. 2 wins away. It's going to be very, very... it's a hard game to try and get that first win to then go and get the next one, which is Crystal Palace at home. But do I think Liverpool will do it? I do think Liverpool will do it. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see for this game. Everton 0, Liverpool 1. I'm going to go for a narrow Liverpool win. It'll be a very, very interesting game. But good luck to Liverpool tonight against Atletico Madrid. So we'll see what happens, and also good luck to Manchester United against Lask. Good luck to Wolves against Olympiacos as well. So it should be very, very interesting as well. But that is it. That is my match week 30 predictions done and dusted again. And I'll go through my predictions really, really quickly as well. Watford 1, Leicester City 1. Bournemouth 1, Crystal Palace 2. Brighton 1, Arsenal 1. Man City 3, Burnley 1. Newcastle United 0, Sheffield United 1. Norwich City 2, Southampton 1. Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 2. West Ham 1, Wolves 1. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 2. And Everton 0, Liverpool 1. So that is it. That is my match week 30 done and dusted. If you are new around here, then please hit that subscribe button. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Also hit that notifications bell for every upload that comes onto this channel as well. And yeah, leave your predictions as well. You guys absolutely smashed it in the last video, so like this video as well, and appreciate all the support as well. And yeah, it'd be nice to get. Actually, I'll give a shout out to anyone who leaves their predictions, and yeah, we'll look forward to the next round of games. So thank you very much for watching, and please enjoy the football as well. Yeah, obviously the live games: Watford, Leicester City, and then Aston Villa, Chelsea. Watford, Leicester is on BT Sport. Aston Villa, Chelsea is on Sky Sports, and then obviously Super Sunday, West Ham against Wolves, and Tottenham against Manchester United, and then Everton against Liverpool. So thank you very much for watching. Smash the like and comment your predictions as well. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see what happens for these games. Only 8 game weeks to go. Going to be very, very interesting. So see you all later. Bye bye.